soft light through the window, no sunrise to reset your mind. Just darkness, endless, heavy, stretching on for months. How long before your sense of time disappeared? How long before you felt lost? Far north of the world most people know, this isn't a thought experiment, it's daily life. In Longyearbyen, Norway, the night arrives once a year and stays. For nearly 6 months, the sun never rises above the horizon. Streets glow under artificial lights, mountains fade into shadow, and the sky remains locked in a permanent twilight. And still, people live here. They work, study, celebrate birthdays, fall in love, and build routines in the dark. This extreme cycle is written into the motion of Earth itself. Our planet is tilted as it orbits the sun. Near the poles, that tilt creates dramatic extremes. When the northern hemisphere leans away from the sun, regions above the Arctic Circle enter the polar night. The sun never disappears, it just never climbs high enough to be seen. The silence feels deeper here. Snow absorbs sound. Cold sharpens every breath. Inside homes and cafes, warm light replaces daylight. Full-spectrum lamps mimic the sun. Light therapy boxes fight depression. Schedules become sacred, protecting sleep and mental balance. And then there's the other side of the same system. The same tilt that creates endless night also creates endless day. In summer, the sun circles the sky and never sets, turning midnight into afternoon. In these places, humans don't control nature. They learn how to live inside it. Deep in southern Norway, surrounded by steep mountains, sits the small town of Rjukan. For centuries, winter here was especially cruel. The sun didn't just stay low, it was completely blocked. Massive mountains wrapped the valley like walls, casting the town into darkness for nearly half the year. Generations grew up without winter sunlight. Streets stayed cold and shadowed. And then an idea emerged that sounded impossible. What if sunlight could be redirected? The idea was proposed in 1913 and quickly dismissed. 100 years later, technology made it real. Giant computer-controlled mirrors, heliostats, were installed high on the mountainside, about 500 feet above the town. Helicopters lifted them into place. Software guided their movement with precision. When winter arrived, something remarkable happened. Sunlight struck the mirrors and reflected straight into the town square. For the first time in history, real sunlight touched Rjukan during the darkest months. People stood still, faces lifted, absorbing warmth they hadn't felt there in winter before. These mirrors are usually used in solar power plants to generate energy. Here, they were used to restore something more human: light, morale, hope. Similar systems later appeared in parts of Italy, but Rjukan became a symbol of resilience. Still, even mirrors can't replace the sun. They only remind us how deeply life depends on it. Across the globe, regions near the equator enjoy near-perfect balance: 12 hours of day, 12 of night. In much of the world, seasons gently shift daylight, but near the poles, balance gives way to extremes, and survival depends on adaptation. Back in Longyearbyen, nearly 78 degrees north, the sun sets in late October and doesn't rise again until mid-February. 112 straight days without a sunrise. No morning, no evening. Just a slow drift of darkness. Life moves inward. Gyms, libraries, schools, and community centers become essential. Social events matter more. Holiday lights burn brighter. Structure keeps people grounded. Without it, sleep collapses, energy fades, and the mind struggles. Then the sun returns, first as a thin glow on the horizon, then a little higher each day, until night disappears entirely. For months, the sun never sets. Midnight feels like afternoon. Curtains stay closed. Time loses its boundaries. This isn't chaos, it's a larger balance. Permanent night would stop life cold. Endless day would exhaust the body and mind. Darkness teaches rest. Light demands movement. Together, they sustain everything alive. Every sunrise and every long night follows a system too precise to be accidental. Humans can build mirrors, lamps, and schedules, but we don't control the rhythm. We live inside it. And maybe that's the quiet lesson hidden in the longest nights and the endless days. Light and darkness aren't opposites to fear. They are partners in a design that allows us to endure, adapt, and keep going.